This episode is brought to you by Static, because when you're trying to record a show, shit just happens. Cue the music. Welcome to UFO report number 11, and today we have two news articles which apparently have both been quite well and decidedly debunked. So let's just jump into the first one. Last month, there was an unbelievable amount of chatter and sharing. A UFO story that showed a kind of like a UFO just hanging above some trees over a residential neighborhood. And a portal appeared over the UFO, and of course it disappeared right into it. The portal closed and the UFO disappeared. The posting for this UFO sighting, which was allegedly caught on a cell phone, was that it occurred in Colorado. So after millions of views worldwide and through the power of social media, it appears that someone out of Mexico has debunked the video. So straight off, one of the things that was debunked right out of the box was the origin of the video. Apparently, no one could confirm whether or not the video did originate from Colorado. It turns out that the video actually came from somewhere in Mexico. Specifically, Sonora, Mexico. A YouTuber by the name of Gabe Hash, who delivers a lot of reports on unexplained phenomena, not only identified the origin of the video, he also decided that he could recreate the video himself, or rather, with the aid of two savvy, aspiring teenagers who are well skilled in using Adobe After Effects. So for those of you who don't speak Spanish, the video might be a little bit hard to look at, well, maybe listen. But in the video, Mr. Gabe Hash actually shows the work conducted by the two kids, and I can tell you that their video looks better than the original, and it's almost a bit more convincing. So Gabe Hash decided to just video some treetops in a residential area, just like in the original video, and the two twerps decided to go in and use their hoaxing skills to demonstrate that the original video was bunk. So the article I linked into the description is from the website Snopes, of course. What's interesting is that at the end of the video, Mr. Hash concludes that in his opinion the video is fake and just something that was rendered by a hoaxer in Mexico using a computer. What's even more fascinating is that Snopes has a second conclusion, saying that since the video is impossible to prove or disprove without knowing more about what and where it is supposed to be, we can only rate this as unproven. In a way, they have a point, right? Because just because you can recreate something through Adobe After Effects, it doesn't mean that the original footage was fake. Because the truth is, that's why we're here, because there are so many videos that have alleged true sightings and true experiences from contactees that are being edited through something like Adobe After Effects that it's really hard to say. Now, this video, of course, if it wasn't for this article, would probably show up somewhere claiming to have been a second UFO going through a portal. In fact, since these two kids were in Mexico, maybe they're the ones who put up the original video. Maybe that's why it wasn't so hard for them to do it. But anyway, another popular UFO sighting bites the dust this week. And while we all sat there and watched this, along with millions of other people, it is very possible that this was just good old-fashioned special effects gone awry in the hands of evildoers. In other news, I recently received some pictures from no one other than Big O. Apparently, Big O was out in an undisclosed location somewhere in Nevada. In his pictures, he sent what looked to be bottles shaped like alien heads, filled with some kind of strange liquid which I could only surmise was Romulan ale. Big O did say he was somewhere near the infamous Area 51, so if you see him, say hello.
How you doing? This is Guido the boss, and I want you to listen to the guys over there at what is that called, huh? UFO Buster Radio. Yeah, that's it. Manny Moonraker and the Big O. Yeah, go to their website. Waste a lot of time. UFOBusterRadio.com and tell them Guido sent you. Shut up.
Before we go into our last article for this UFO report, I want to remind everyone that June 15th, midnight, is the very last day you can submit your entry into the co-host contest. And if you go to the UFO Buster Radio page on Facebook, you can get the details on there and follow the Facebook page for future events. But simply explained, if you win the contest, you will receive a copy of the book Unacknowledged by Stephen Greer and the gang. And you will then come on the show as a co-host for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how long you feel it might take to get that perspective out there, that blue-collar look at the book. And basically that's what you're going to do. You're going to share your experience and your perspective on what Stephen Greer was presenting in that book, and eventually whether or not we really should give a damn about what he has to say going forward. 5 minutes or less, your rant on the legacy incident known as Roswell is all you have to do in order to enter. So the last article was reported in April of this year to MUFON. Apparently a train passenger says that she saw 6 mothership UFOs that were beaming down light to the earth. Apparently the woman had one of her children report this to MUFON, and the individual stated, "My mother was traveling through the Arizona desert via train on her way to Texas." Why is that Texas-Arizona connection consistent? She was unable to sleep due to the movement of the train. That happens, you're on a train. She said she was looking out of the cabin window and saw a very bright light that became brighter as the train approached. She says she then saw 6 objects hovering side by side close enough to see that each object had 2 rows of windows. She described them as being 2-story. She said that they were so bright that a foggy sort of light was beaming down from underneath each object. The woman attempted to photograph what she was seeing. And if you look at the article linked in the description, you will actually see a photo of what she was perceiving at the time. The individual added in the report that she frantically reached for her cell phone in time to snap a couple of photos. Now, what's fascinating about this photo is that you see the object that she claims she felt or she perceived as a mothership However, if you look at the photo in the lower right-hand corner, there appears to be a really significantly sized street lamp. And apparently this could be a case of where we have lens flare or a reflection from the other side of the train opposite her window. It's possible that opposite her window there was another street lamp of the same size that she was picking up as she took the picture or was looking at the window. So if you look at the description, you click on that link, you'll go to the article and you can see the picture. It's linked in there. Apparently I'm not the only one who felt that way when I first saw this, because I actually tried to, run some filters on this to see if I can see how many bulbs were in that street lamp, because it looks like it's pretty significant in size. Roger Marsh, the MUFON Director of Communications, says please be very cautious with UFO photography before investigation analysis is completed. In other words, don't jump to conclusions. She probably was still a little groggy from all the drugs she took trying to stay comfy on her long train ride. The lady indicated that the objects were disc-shaped less than 100 feet away. Roger Marsh says, please remember that most UFO sightings can be explained as something natural or man-made. Check, Roger. Roger, check. Check, Roger. Yep, this might be man-made. So again, it seems like we traded Scots for Scots. So we lost Scott C. Waring. And in this article, we've got Scott Brando again from ufointerest.org. And he says, from the look at it, it appears that this really is a lens flare. He apparently provided the outlet that reported this incident with an identical UFO from a previous report that he confirmed was caused by a lens flare from a street lamp. And you know what? When you look at these pictures, folks, I guarantee you're probably going to think it's a lens flare. The connection is very clear in this case. And it's the first thing that jumped into my mind when I saw it. But my question is Scott Brando and Scott C. Waring the same person? Is this like Clark Kent and Superman, except it's hoaxer debunker? Strange times indeed. Well, don't forget to check us out on UFOBusterRadio.com, the Facebook page UFO Buster Radio, and Manny Moonraker Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm always happy to interact with the listeners. If you follow me on any social media, you'll see that from time to time I do get active. And by the way, we have newly designed merchandise on our shop on Spreadshirt. The link is here also in the description, and I've also put it out through social media. And there is a special 15% off discount starting on the 15th and actually going through the 21st. 15% off. If you go to the shop, you will actually see the code there for you, or look me up on one of these social media outlets that I've just mentioned, and you can retrieve the code. Thank you for listening today. We'll catch you on Friday. Ciao.